Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report, our live schedule release edition. In years past, we've had the schedule leaked early, an hour until the actual schedule gets released, and we're missing one matchup to figure out everything else, because we're missing two games, so it's one matchup there. I think we're also missing some primetime games for leaks. We'll break down what we have so far here. I'm Tom Downey, producer Patrick, behind the scenes once again. I am not subjecting you guys to Jeremy today. You all are welcome. To begin, we've known the Cowboys' opponents for a very long time now, right? It's the Commanders twice, the Niners, the Cardinals, the Giants twice, the Eagles twice, the Rams, Seahawks, Patriots, Jets, Dolphins, Bills, Panthers, Lions, and the Chargers. Predict the Cowboys' record this year for me in the comment section. It is a tougher schedule than what we've had in the past. It's a little bit more challenging, in part because the NFC East looks a little bit better this year.
Yeah,
your crossover game's a bit more challenging. You've got to face the AFC. I think AFC East, AFC North, NFC East, three best divisions.
Yeah,
you get all but four of those teams. A couple of them multiple times. So it is a bit of a, and even the NFC West. Like if you could have drawn the NFC South this year, would have been great. Of course you didn't. So your crossover game there is not the most challenging. It's the Panthers. So maybe Bryce Young's good. Who knows?
Positive though. Eagles can't win the division again.
By rule. They cannot.
Like,
that's not how it works. They don't get to. There's no NFC East repeats there. So, remember, guys, we can complain about the schedule. It's fine. It is set years in advance. So,
exactly.
Sometimes it's not like they screwed you. It's you just got unlucky or you got lucky.
Yeah.
That's how it tends to go. Sometimes you get. Last year you drew the Bucs. Well, this year the Eagles draw the Bucs as the crossover, but it's not as good. Yeah. They don't have Brady anymore, so it happens. In the meantime, predict the record this year for the Dallas Cowboys. Remember, still 17 games. I see 11-6, 69-0, which I will appreciate that one because I'm an immature person. 16-1, 13-4, 11-6, 12-5, 15-2, 14-3, 15-2, 14-3, 12-5 again. Steven, no overseas games for Dallas this year. The international games already announced. The Cowboys will not for two reasons. Number one, Jerry will not give up a home game right now. He refuses to do so. And number two, the opposing NFL teams don't want to give up the Cowboys something that sells out every time.
True.
So now next year, when Estadio Azteca's revamped in Mexico, maybe that one because the Cowboys will have the extra home game next year. They'll have 9. So maybe next year starts to make some more sense.
Awesome.
As your votes come in, we will run you through what we know so far of the Cowboys' schedule. If you watched our live show on Monday, someone was like, "Who's the Week 1 game?" I'm like, "Well, I haven't played the Giants in a while." It's at the Giants, and then football. I forget the exact stat. Maybe I saved it and sent it to myself here. Let me see if I pulled it up there.
How are you feeling about that game? Giants starting off the year, Sunday Night Football. I mean,
not scared.
Not scared?
Not scared.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Giants are not a garbage team, but, if you were playing the Niners Week 1, I'd be like, or maybe you won them early in the year, but it's a Giants game. Like, I'm not like extra spooked, like, ooh, prime time. Like, okay, still Daniel Jones, still a team that's beat you once in the last, 10 or 11, so should be fine. Giants Week 1, Jets Week 2. Now,
that's going to be awesome.
Rodgers.
I can't wait for that.
Tired of him. On one hand, you get out of the way early, right?
Yeah.
You get your boogeyman games out of the way early with the Jets. At the Cardinals in Week 3, you should smoke them. They're a bad football team. Yes. Patriots in Week 4. I'll make note right now. We have, from the leaks and everything, 3 primetime games for the Cowboys. Not a chance.
Yeah, there's
definitely, we are missing 2 primetime games somewhere. There are 2 games we don't know yet. Week 6, Week 8, in some order, is going to be the Chargers and the Rams. I would bet one of those is a primetime game. Could both of them be? I have a tough time seeing the schedule makers saying, let's put the Cowboys of their 5 primes, let's put 4 of them the first 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think one there, and I think one of the other league games, and we saw this last year too when we leaked the schedule, we're missing another game that's a primetime game, just wasn't reported properly as it. That's my guess there. Week 9 at the Eagles. Week 10 against the Giants. Week 11 at the Panthers. Week 12, the Commies come to Dallas for Thanksgiving Day game. I've already cooked up our Cowboys commie memes once again. And then the Cowboys are back on the Thursday. I hate this time of the year. It's always tough. But every team that plays a Thursday game ends up having the 3 games in 12 days. But teams normally get a bye around there.
Uh-huh.
Not the case for Dallas.
Yeah.
Because they go Sunday, Thursday, rest of the year. It's a very tough run of games. This year, at least, it's a home game for the extra Thursday.
Yeah.
In years past, they've gone Thanksgiving at home, Thursday night on the road. That's a really tough schedule. It's not. It's 3 straight home games this time.
I'm also shocked they didn't put one of these Eagles games on primetime. You think Week 14?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like the leaks have said, there's no Sunday Night Football game yet for the Week 14 matchup.
That has to be.
I wonder if Packers-Giants is not a Monday night game, and that's a Sunday night game, and then Cowboys-Eagles is Monday night.
Be the Monday night, yeah.
Now, they've changed the rules a little bit this year. I do think we're going to have 2 Monday Night Football games for the Cowboys. That's kind of been whispered, reported. I think we're missing one there at this stage, or I guess 2 of them at this point. But if this holds, Week 13 Thursday night, and then after Week 8 at the best, 1 primetime game. I find that very tough to believe because even if the Cowboys are mediocre, they're pretty much a cash cow.
Yeah, or even Buffalo. Buffalo Week 15.
Now,
I feel like they could.
CBS Fox, they've changed it. It's not quite allocated. So I think there was I envisioned some sort of bidding war going on, and everyone wants the Cowboys game.
Yeah,
because those are always the highest rated games. So it just makes sense there. Week 14, Philly, Buffalo, Miami, Detroit, and Washington. I could see a scenario where a lot of those teams are good, or they're not so good either. Again, also ending Week 18 against the Commanders is kind of funny. $5 super chat from Jay Elam. Week 2, the Jets, LOL. Rodgers out of the way early, and the boys will win. I was convinced it was going to be the Thanksgiving Day game, and I'd have been mad.
Honestly,
this is better.
I would have rather, for the Cowboys, play the Jets on the road.
Yep.
Instead of Rodgers coming into the Cowboys Stadium. Bad vibes there, bad memories.
No, I'm glad it's out of the way relatively. That's been reported as an afternoon game. CBS or Fox game of the week. Just lock it in.
It's going to be a 425, 325 slot.
$2 super chat from Chris B. Week 14, if true, is our rough stretch. Again, it is all the leaks still. The Dolphins one has been a little bit maybe uncertain on that front. This unconfirmed. But let's go to it here, Chris B. Philly, Buffalo, absolutely.
That's tough.
I'm not sold on Miami.
Yeah, I mean,
and I will say this: you're getting Miami in December.
I was just gonna say
much better than in September.
Yes, 100%.
That is because the Dolphins. I'll give them credit; they built their stadium properly.
They cheated.
There's a 20-degree difference on the sidelines.
There is. They cheated.
One is shaded, one is not. It's 80 and 100. So you drew Miami. If this is true, at the proper time, you drew them in December on the road in Miami. December.
That's good.
That's great weather.
Yeah, you're gonna get up for that.
Yeah. That's so much better than the week before at Buffalo in December. So you're getting it's no different than you're sitting in your house with your heat on, and then you walk outside in the freezing cold. It's brutal. So big temperature change there. I'm not sold on Miami. We'll see if the quarterback Tua can stay healthy. Detroit, everyone wants to believe in.
I'm all out on Detroit. I think Detroit.
I'll throw this in too. Just scenario that the Lions have locked up the division already, and then they have nothing to play for in Week 17.
Not going to happen. But
I mean,
you never.
I don't believe in Green Bay. I still don't really believe in the Bears. I'm sorry. And the Vikings are going to regress. I know it's your squad.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
You're scared too about it.
But my theory about the Lions.
Yeah.
Them giving the Lions the opening night game against Kansas City, with them not even making the playoffs last year, I think they already kind of dug their own grave a little bit. The NFL screwed them because now there's just too much hype. There's way too much hype on the Lions. I'm starting to get out on them.
There you go. All right, that's the schedule so far. You can vote on our pin poll, by the way. Will the Cowboys win the NFC East? Y for yes, N for no. Go ahead and sound off in the comments, too. We'll have some fun today. So from our company party, we have here, as Patrick can confirm, a probably too strong margarita.
Yeah, this is tough.
So every $10 super chat, I'll do a nice big cheer for that. Every $5, I'll sip some beer for you guys, since that happened too. Every 20 out of 20 to start, we've got the Jack Daniels bottle ready to go in the little Cowboys jersey koozie. It's not really a koozie, but I don't know, whatever we want to call it. So
that margarita will
5,
get
10, and 20. if we want to have a good time and get a little bit tipsy today, and hopefully no slurring of the words. But cheers to the $5 from Jay Elam earlier. Thank you, my friend. Will the Cowboys win the NFC East? Y for yes, N for no. Patrick, you said it earlier.
It's got to be them or the Giants or the Commanders, and I don't really believe in the Giants or Commanders. So.
Eagles can't repeat. That's how it works. It's just there's no repeats allowed in the NFC East.
It's science.
I don't believe in the Commanders.
Nope, they're not winning.
I don't believe. I think we have a new head coach next year.
Yeah,
new ownership, new regime. It's fine. Like they'll be okay in the end. And I refuse to believe in Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is not winning.
I refuse to do it.
Yeah.
Let me know when the Giants actually beat the Cowboys again.
Yeah.
Hopefully not this year. Hopefully I'm not talking too much trash. But, I don't believe in them there. All right, Chris B. Our first 4 games, though, isn't bad. Expect 3 wins at least. That opens the year with the Giants, Jets, Cardinals, and Patriots. Ideally, you start the year 4-0.
Yeah.
I think
at this, I'll go 3-1 losing the Rodgers.
Look, if you can go 3-1, 2-2, rotate that all year long, you're in really good shape.
You should go 4-0.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you can, of course, win the first game, win that first one, and then start the season right. Because what you don't want to have is we lost to the Giants finally. Now we got to go play Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
You should blow out the Cardinals. I don't believe that they are a good team.
They might win 3 games.
Patriots will be around 500. But you've gotten over the Belichick hump in the past. You got over the Brady hump last year, too.
Yeah.
So you should be okay there. Again, these are all the leaks in the schedule so far. Nothing official from that perspective. Oh, I've got some early odds here.
Okay.
So week 1, and then we'll go to the week 10 slide.
Ooh, let me guess.
Week 1, Giants, Cowboys on the road. You guys can guess, too.
I'm going to go Cowboys 3.5.
Cowboys -2. On the road. Let's go to the week 10 slide here, if you will, Patrick. Also against the Giants, this time at home. Now remember, week 1, it was -2. At home, knowing it's also later in the year.
I go 6.
4.5.
4.5.
So it's a little bit of a lower juice line than it normally would be because it's later in the year. You want to have keep it a little bit narrow there. Let's see. We've got week 12 against the Commanders Thanksgiving. What's the spread?
At home.
4.5 was the Giants in week 10.
I'll go 6.
5.5. So very close,
okay.
very close. Week 15, we'll go to these two here, and I'm actually very intrigued by this. Week 15, Bills on the road. What's the early line?
I'll go Bills 3.
Bills 4.
4. Okay. God, they're undervaluing the Cowboys a little bit here.
I think in general they're kind of going
keeping them a little
narrow because it's you throw the line on now, who the hell knows what it's really going to become. If a quarterback's hurt, it's going to be a 10-point swing. Week 16, Christmas Eve, by the way, against the Dolphins.
In Miami, I'll go Dolphins 2.
Dolphins 1.5, so very
1.5,
close.
okay, very
so
close.
you were off by maybe a half point for a lot of those there. It's good guesses there. $5 super chat from Jay Elam. Cheers.
Shout out to Jay Elam.
5 for the beer, 10 for the way too strong margarita, and then 20 for shots today. Cowboys all the way, 15-2 season. Will be the number 1 seed in the playoffs this year. Philly might be the wild card. Where do I sign? I would love that. Yeah. I'll take, if you can promise me 13 or 12 wins right now, I'll sign it.
Yeah.
Sight unseen, I'll sign it. Don't care how you get there.
How many wins do you think wraps up the NFC East this year?
I mean, I think the Eagles are still going to be good.
Yeah, they're going to put
So
up
I think you probably have to win 12.
12.
It's a lot. Now, maybe it might be 11, get you the tiebreaker still.
Yeah.
But I do think I know we're writing off the Eagles as kind of a halfway joke of can't repeat. They're still going to be a really good football team.
Yeah.
The Giants, I think, will be. They had a negative point differential, and when I see teams with a negative point differential, okay, you're going to regress closer to 500 next year. Which 9 wins will probably still get them in the playoffs.
Plus, normally, I think the NFL it's only about 7 new playoff teams every single year.
Yeah,
so
it changes a lot, and then I don't believe in the Commanders. So, Jay Elam, $10, drink, my friend.
Let's go.
Cheers.
How's it tasting, Tom?
Like PTSD.
PTSD. Yeah, it tastes like PTSD. We had a rough night.
Some of us had a rough night. I was mostly fine.
Fun night.
Yeah. Petey was.
Yeah, Petey was there.
Matthew Peterson, our Browns and Broncos host, who also does some Falcons and Titans stuff for us here. I've never seen him so drunk.
I haven't either.
He was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys put it in perspective, at least double what I have ever been on air. And you guys know I've been hammered before.
Yeah,
he was gone. He was getting up giving
It was from the jump,
speeches.
too. Like, from the jump, he was like that. And that is dangerous. $10 super chats, get them done. Get them done.
He was something. So, honestly, one of these is more than enough to get me drunk. So, if we get a bunch of 10s,
let's get it going.
I'll be hammered and I'll Uber home. All right, of the Cowboys games this year, who's the easiest opponent on their schedule? Let's loop through kind of B-roll style here, Patrick. The games we know so far, knowing the two TBDs you'll see in a minute are the Rams and the Chargers.
Cardinals have to be up there.
Cardinals for sure. That is just that is my answer to spoil the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Panthers are a wild card for me.
They are. Well, Cardinals
because Bryce Young could be really good.
Yeah, true. Cardinals on the road or Commanders at home. That's where I would go.
If it was a normal, if it was like a week 5 Commanders game.
Not Thanksgiving. Yeah.
The Thanksgiving games are always weird. That's how it goes. We've seen plenty of weird games. We've seen some BS. I'm still looking at you, refs throwing flags against Anthony Brown. I'm not over that game. You should not be rewarding 15-yard underthrows as a free first down. Like, oh, sorry, it was just over your head. What? No, you underthrew him. Which the Raiders should have called that more last year. That play's worked wonders.
Yeah,
that's Derek Carr's best play. Not the Lions, not the Bills, not the Dolphins. So I'm going Cardinals myself as the easiest game.
Yeah, probably the Cardinals.
Which if they lose, we're all going to be in shambles.
Yeah,
we know how sensitive we are early on in the season.
After week 1 last year, Dak gets hurt. Lose to the Buccaneers. The season was over.
The season was absolutely over.
I think most people did.
But there aren't that many easy games this year. Strength of schedule can be a bit wonky because it's based on last year's results.
And your division.
Is heavily impacted there. So the entire NFC East and the entire put it in perspective because it's the crossover games. The NFC East and the AFC East have the 8 hardest schedules this year. Because they all play each other.
Yeah.
And there's I think none or one below 500 team.
Wow.
So there's a bunch of games all in a row for you that are why it's a much tougher schedule. Yeah. Now in theory, one of those NFC East teams won't be that good, and one of the AFC East teams won't be that good. But if they all finish 500 or better again this year, that's tough.
The AFC
there's no cupcake games.
Especially the AFC East. You could consider the Commanders maybe a cupcake game, especially later on in the year if they start to mail it in. But
I hope so. Week 18, they might be tanking for Caleb Williams, which I hope they're not.
Yeah.
I hope they're tanking for the 5th pick.
Yeah, because you don't want Caleb Williams.
The operation keep the good QBs out of the NFC East has worked really well so far.
Yeah.
Hurts is good now. Cool. But
yes.
Deshaun went to Cleveland, who might actually not be good.
Yeah.
Kyler's been bad. Lamar stayed in Baltimore. We even got Rodgers out of the division. Yeah. Now, maybe Justin Fields is a big time breakout year, but you're power ranking the NFC East quarterback or the NFC quarterbacks. Some order it's probably hurts Dak.
Yeah.
And you can mix in, Kirk and maybe breakout year from Fields and Goff, but or even Carr as the next tier.
Stafford's still a wild card
for
me.
There's no Burrow, Lawrence, Herbert in this grouping.
No.
That guy's not there. All right, some more super chats from Crispy Bacon. Can't lie, I'm super excited to see the new West Coast offense. I've been pounding the table for years for a West Coast offense. Going to do wonders for Dak.
Slants and flats.
Hey, you know what? If it's better than the 4 hitches.
Yeah,
so if I think you're going to see a lot of those. I think that fits pretty well with Lamb. Cooks has run that route pretty decently.
Yeah.
Gallup was actually good on slants last year. That was the one route he was good at. So hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
My one concern is there's a weird dichotomy because the West Coast offense is short passes in place of the run game.
Yeah.
But Mike's made a big deal about wanting to run the football. With an O-line that I'm kind of concerned about and a running back that's kind of thin.
Yeah, coming off an injury too.
What my fear is it's going to run. Okay, now it's 3rd and 7. Dak go.
Yeah, run, pass.
Bail us out.
Yes.
That's my concern because I'd rather do the West Coast quick pass and get 4 and be in 3rd and 3.
Definitely.
Dak has cooked teams in 3rd and 5.
Yeah.
Now 3rd and 8, you put those positions because you didn't pound the ball very well. Obvious passing downs. It's a little bit scary for me. So, cheers to you, Crispy Bacon.
Cheers.
Jay Elam, $5 more. Playoff seeds for me. Cowboys 1, Niners 2, Seattle 3, Atlanta 4. Well, You can't have Niners and Seattle in the top 4.
Yeah.
So we'll give Seattle wild card, and then you got to pick an NFC North team in there, Jay.
The Vikes.
But I'll go to like power rankings.
I'm all in on Seattle this year. I love the roster top to bottom.
I'm just a little scared about
Gino coming back. Yeah.
I like a lot of it, and because they're going to run the football team that wants to just run pass. That's Seattle deep down. So, cheers to you, Jay. Thank you very much.
I don't disagree with you, Jay.
And then Chris B. So potentially confusing. There's Chris P. Bacon, and there's Chris B. Two different super chatters. Thank you all so much. Seems like people are underestimating us. Feel like we play better with no expectations. Get to the NFC Championship game this year, please. I am begging. I'll tweet it out if they get there. It's the Family Guy meme of Herbert, the creepy guy, just praying, let me smell his hat. He gets the hat and goes, now I want more. Yeah. That's us. Let us get to the NFC Championship game. We get there. Now we want more.
Yeah.
But yes, I do. I would like to get there. I would very much like to get there. I promise you. And Jay Elam has clarified. Says my bad. Lions at 3. Remember, folks, the super chat menu today: $5 beer cheers, $10. It's the way too strong margaritas. It's tequila, it's sake, orange juice, and something else. They're very strong. I'll do a freebie here.
Yeah, Tom gets going on that.
And then, oh boy, that's something. $20 shots. We'll have some fun. All right, we will do a mailbag, by the way, as we continue to wait for the schedule. I'm looking at the leakers here. We're at 72% of the games.
All right, we're getting there.
We're getting there. Patriots are close. The Dolphins are actually kind of done. They just because there's a bye in they're not going to put the bye in week 17, so they got to plug that one in.
What is your favorite week 1 game? That's obviously not the Cowboys.
Okay, let me look through this here.
I'm trying to think where mine would be.
Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Chargers, Patriots. No.
Bills, Jets might be up there.
Bills, Jets is definitely up there. Chiefs, Lions, I'm actually not that intrigued by.
Yeah, I'm not either. Baltimore, Houston would be kind of fun just to see. Stroud.
I'm going to go Bills, Jets.
Yeah, I think Bills, Jets.
Bills, Jets.
Chargers, Dolphins, the Tua Herbert
Tua
thing.
Herbert
That's
game is a
cool
good one. At least we're guaranteeing both will play in theory.
Commanders, Cardinals.
No.
That is the worst game by far.
You know what? The NFL did a crying shame there. That should have been the Week 17 game.
Yeah, the last game of the year, definitely.
It could have been the Caleb Williams Bowl. People would have tuned in. Instead, I think both those teams are going to be tuned out. Either way. Again, mailbag coming up here, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with timing. But get your questions in, #Cowboys, or by super chatting. Chris B, you know it's going to be McCarthy versus more talk all year. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Here's where things will get a little bit dicey. The Cowboys' offense struggles a little bit.
Yes.
Which I think early on they probably will. There's some adjustment. They're not going to play much preseason. They start slow a little bit most years.
Good defenses. 3 of the first 4 games. That's like, especially the Jets
have a really good defense. Patriots have a good defense. Giants have a good defense. So you'll get a good feel for it.
And then the Niners in week 5.
And remember, you'll play the Chargers in week 6 or week 8. And what's going to be concerning is if Kellen Moore is calling all the good plays that we like, the motion, the creativity stuff.
Yeah.
If we start getting those all year long from the Chargers, that's going to raise a lot of red flags. Because that will mean
Mike was kind of
someone in the organization, whether it was Mike or I think the Jones boys up top, were limiting it.
We're going to see.
And that's scary. That is scary. $10, Jay Elam. Jets 0-2 to start the year. Jets do have a very tough schedule to start.
Yeah, where
Bills, Cowboys, Patriots, Chiefs, and then Denver, Philadelphia, though.
Wow. And that's,
they can start the year 2-4.
Tough to get a new quarterback, too, situated, so it'd be huge. I would love that.
Yeah. So cheers to you, Jay.
Cheers, Jay. And then a first-time super chatter.
2.
Let's go.
Thank you, Mark the Tap Man.
Mark the Tap Man.
Enjoy the shot, DC for life. Thank you. It's Mark's first super chat.
Cheers
Why
to
is
you.
this leaking? I don't understand this.
We'll get the Patron going.
Patrick will do a shot for Mark. So I probably shouldn't do 2 shots in a row quite that fast when we haven't had dinner yet. But one Dustin Inc. coming through the 20-piece as well. Cheers to you, one Dustin.
Dustin Inc.
Woo!
Ooh, this is a good debate, Dustin.
You guys comment too. Trying to decide what home game to go to this year. We only go to one. Y'all pick. Okay.
I like this. Out of this 4, I'm choosing. All right, Rodgers. The Rodgers game is on top of my list right now.
But you want to go to a win. Scares me.
True.
But if you beat Rodgers, you were there for when they finally beat Rodgers again.
Probably out of this 4, Rodgers I would go.
I would go Rodgers over the Patriots game. I'm not calling the Jets. We're calling it the freaking Rodgers game.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. The TBDs, by the way, it is home against the Rams.
So the Rams, that would be a fun one to go to.
That'd be a solid one. Giants, Commanders, Seattle.
Seattle would be a fun one on that Thursday.
Seattle, as long as you don't have to work on Friday.
True.
Which is always dicey. Giants week 10, Eagles week 14, always a good game.
Lions could be a fun one.
Lions are pretty interesting.
Especially like who knows if that's for like the number 1 seed in the NFC. Like we'd never know how this could turn out. Like
I think I'd probably go Jets.
I would go Jets too.
Jets. Now, I would go I would go Seahawks over Jets or the Commanders on Thanksgiving if you're able to. I know that those are kind of tricky games, Thursday night and Thanksgiving itself. So maybe not the most easy games to go to, but that's where I would rank them there. All right. I think we're caught up on the supers there. Let me make sure we didn't miss anything. We will get to our mailbag soon. So get your questions in. #Cowboys or Super Chat to get on the show. Some of the supers we can hit during the mailbag, pick a game to go to, a home game to go to this year. Maybe some of the Kellen Moore McCarthy talk. But if you have just general questions on the Cowboys, you can get them in via #Cowboys or Super Chat. Jenkins Gaming says he's going to go to one game around Labor Day since he lives in Ohio. Well, there you go. I mean, that certainly makes sense. Hey, once every 4 years, you get to go to a Bengals or Browns game in theory.
Yeah.
I mean, back when I was living in Cincinnati, we went to the Bengals-Cowboys game every year that they were there. Every 8 years, we would go.
That would be a good game.
The last one we went to was the Rob Ryan led defensive Cowboys team.
Oh, really?
They almost lost. I would have been very upset.
Yeah.
It was a narrow game. The Cowboys barely won, and I was happy. My dad was very upset. And then he's driving us home, and he goes, "It's probably better for us that the Cowboys won because I can handle it better." I'm like, all right, maybe I should not let the Cowboys affect my mood so much. And here I am, letting it affect my mood every year.
Definitely.
All right, the Cowboys schedule we know so far, we'll kind of loop through B-roll side here. The 2 things we're missing, as I got to turn this fan on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Last 5 minutes, it just got really warm in here.
Week 6 and 8 are the 2 we're missing.
It's Chargers, Rams in some capacity. I also am confident we're missing 2 Monday Night Football games.
Both you think Cowboys have 2, because they don't have one right now.
They don't have any Monday Night Football games, and there was a report that there were 2 Monday Night Football games for the Cowboys. And if you guys saw the tweet, the Cowboys, the teaser tweet that they put out, they put up 2 ice cream cones, and 3 looked like glasses of whiskey. And that was the tweet.
2 ice cream cones and 3 glasses.
And everyone's like, what does this mean? And people were like, this refers to who's announcing it. So maybe there's like the CMA, I think, is at the Ford Center this week. So it could be like Dolly Parton's and somehow connected. I interpreted it as 2 Sunday night games, Sunday, ice cream Sundays was what they had there, and 3 nightcaps.
Okay,
which might be reaching a little bit.
No, I like that. I like that.
But 3 nightcaps, which 3 other primetime games. And remember, it was 2 ice cream cones and then 3 primetime games, which would work here.
Yes.
Because it would be the first 2 Sunday Night Football games and then the 3 primetime games after that. So I don't. Maybe it's a very tricky, like it means multiple things type of deal. But who knows? Who knows?
I hate it.
Some more super chats coming in from one Dustin C. I think I said Dust Inc. last year. It makes more sense for one Dustin C. JETS Jets it is. Let's roll. Thanks, fellas. Have some fun, my friend. That should be a great game.
It should be a great game. I would just feel bad if
we will be all praying and cheering for a Cowboys win.
Yes.
Crispy Bacon. 1 Cowboys, 2 Niners, 3 Packers,
Packers.
4 Falcons, wild card Eagles, Seattle. You get a third team now. This is my prediction for the NFC.
Okay.
Anything to get me away from the Niners.
Yeah. Have you two be the 1 and 2
seeds. The Niners are the new boogeyman for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Rodgers
more
is
than
gone.
Rodgers,
He's gone.
yeah,
He's
not
gone.
Rodgers anymore.
Like it's the same way back in the Cowboys dynasty. The Packers were a great football team then. They just could not get past the Dallas Cowboys. They were always second or fourth in the NFC.
Yeah.
I feel the exact same way this year. So cheers to you, Crispy Bacon. Bottoms up, my friend.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, the Cowboys should get off to a good start. I mean, this
They should
be 4-0. Like, I'm looking at this like,
Or at least 3-1.
3-1, you're feeling more than okay. But 2-2, you're kind of saying like,
You're a little anxious. Like, it's not great because then you got the Niners.
and then this could be Niners Rams.
I'm torn between because I assume because I assume Week 6 is going to be a home game. The more I think about this,
And out of the Rams, it would be the Rams, right?
Rams would be a home game.
Yes.
So I'm going to guess it's Rams Week 6, Chargers Week 8,
Yeah.
and one of those games will be a Monday Night Football game.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping for, and part of me wants to beat the Niners so we know we can do it, or do what you did against Tampa last year, lose and then smoke them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We have all forgotten about that playoff game.
The
By the way,
Buccaneers.
we have all
Yeah.
forgotten about it.
It's Brett Maher game.
Like we're just like, we lost to the Niners. It sucks. Like you
smacked them.
smoked the Bucs,
Dak
a team
was
that many people thought was going to beat you and upset because it's the Bucs and Brady and stuff.
Yeah.
And Dak had legitimately the best playoff game outside of the 1-18 Super Bowl for the Cowboys. That was the best quarterback performance in the last 10 playoff games for the Cowboys. He was awesome. But they didn't follow it up against the Niners, and we all forget about it. So that's the leaked schedule so far. As Chris B coming through again. Watch us beat the Niners in the regular season, though. I'm not going to be mad about winning a regular season game. Just shows that the Cowboys can do it.
Yeah, gives them some confidence.
We can do it. A little bit of a confidence booster.
Yeah.
That's
They're
been a
not
problem
unbeatable,
for a couple of years here. It's just kind
The
of.
Niners also don't have a quarterback. They are so good top to bottom on the roster, but they still don't really have certainty at the quarterback spot.
And in theory, by week 3, it's just not going to be or week 5, it's not going to be figured out yet.
Yeah.
I wanted the Niners early, Dolphins late.
You got that.
Yeah, because I don't want to play Miami in September or even October.
And you don't even know if Tua's going to be
Healthy by then. Yeah. Miami actually begins the year on the road their first 2 games. Denver's their only September home game.
Really.
I think the schedule was like, okay, let's relax here. This is
with your side.
too big of an advantage. Yeah. So we're going to get to our mailbag here in just a second. Get your questions in using #Cowboys or by super chatting to get on the show. We are still awaiting 2 games for the Cowboys where the Rams and Chargers are going. I think we're missing 2 Monday Night Football matchups as well. That still remains a little bit TBD. So we'll start the mailbag. The schedule drops officially in about 25 minutes. Maybe we'll get it before then. But that's not,
Waiting on 2 games.
We're waiting on 2 games. The Rams have next to nothing leaked. The Chargers, the NFC South has very little outside of Carolina. Indy's got 5 games leaked at all. We were getting set up for our Bengals, our potential Bengals video.
Yeah.
We've had all but 4 for 6 hours.
Yeah.
It's brutal. So use your #Cowboys in the comment section or just skip the line altogether and super chat to get on the show for this Cowboys mailbag getting started right now. Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. It is a mailbag filmed as part of our schedule release special here on the Cowboys Report, a bonus live show for you guys, answering all your questions during that show. We begin with a super chat from Chris B. It's going to be McCarthy versus Moore talk all year. Yes, it will, because he's got Herbert, Kellen Moore does. If he's calling the good plays and he's being the motion, he's not just reverting to the simple stuff that we didn't like under Kellen Moore, well, then it's going to be okay. He called the good plays all year long instead of stopping after the first couple weeks. Does that mean it's the calls coming from inside the house? That's going to be the concern. Hopefully, the Mike McCarthy offense, with some help from Brian Schottenheimer, leads to good results, because otherwise Mike might not be here anymore. From Chris P. P. Bacon, a different Chris. Can't lie, I'm super excited to see the West Coast offense. I've been pounding the table for years for a West Coast offense. It's going to do wonders for Dak. I think I like portions of the West Coast offense. I think the Shanahan-McVay spin off of it, it's not quite a pure West Coast for those guys, is awesome. I like the short, quick passing game to use in lieu of the run game. But Mike's talked a big game about wanting to run the football, and it's maybe more of the O-line's not the best, and the ground game's a little bit thin in that running back room. I don't trust it fully. So cautiously optimistic is my term for what this Cowboys offense could be. It's been really good the past 3 years. No one scored more points, but the consistency hasn't always been there. I'll trade even 3 or 4 fewer points per game if the floor is raised a little bit. Hopefully that's what happens under McCarthy. From one, Dustin C., trying to decide what home game to go to this year. We only go to one. You guys pick. You guys can sound off in the comment section here. This was, of course, filmed as part of our live schedule release show, and Dustin did pick the Jets as the game he will be going to. It should be a fantastic matchup because, we had the leaks a little bit early for these, or at least for most of the games. Part of, our live show. What we all want this year, at minimum, is an NFC Championship game berth. So will that happen for the Dallas Cowboys? If you just want to speak positivity into the universe, go for it. Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage and go vote. Will the Cowboys finally make it back to the NFC Championship game? Y for yes, N for no. Go vote at the pin poll, or the pinned comment, I should say, right now. From Jenkins Gaming, who's going to be the guy you watched in the preseason? Mine is Vaughn and Tolbert. I think two fantastic answers. In theory, Deuce Vaughn, Ronald Jones will get a good chance to take the RB2 role. I think Tolbert's maybe the best answer overall because he was a third-round pick. The Cowboys started Dennis Houston last year, a UDFA over Jalen Tolbert, and he did not get on the football field enough. So I need Jalen Tolbert to be better this upcoming year for the Dallas Cowboys. Chris B., watch us beat the Niners in the regular season, though. You know what? I'm okay with that. This has been confirmed as a Sunday night football matchup, even as we film this again as part of our live show. This one was announced Thursday morning, I believe. I would like the confidence boost of having beaten them on the road. I also would not be mad if you lose and then beat them in the playoffs like you did against the Bucs last year. But I'm never going to wish to not beat a team in the regular season, outside of late in the year when they're bad. At that point, tanking's fine. Just ask Houston. Chris B. Think Mike is just talking when he says he wants to run the ball. We only drafted one running back and one O-line in the 5th. We added Cooks and a tight end. Weird. I would agree. The other parts of their moves of defense, and other phrases they want to stop the run and run the football well. If they drafted a guard in round 2, I think we would have been oh yeah, they're going to run the football, right? Now I'm not so sure. So I would like to make the changes to make this offense a little bit more consistent. I never understood the phrase "look a gift horse in the mouth." Doesn't make any sense to me, but I know what it refers to of don't be greedy. You've averaged 30 points a game almost with a healthy Dak Prescott the past 3 years. That's really freaking hard to do. You got to get more consistent against teams in particular, like the Niners. That's been the one team that's killed you because their defense has been elite. So I don't want to drastically overhaul the offense. I just want to make it a little bit better. Just a little bit. And even if it lowers the ceiling and raises the floor a little bit, just a little, I think that's worthwhile. That's going to be the big there are not many teams who have had the offensive success the Cowboys have had the past 3 years going, our offense is our concern. And maybe that is a bit of a champagne problem, but I think that's where the Cowboys are at right now. Now, we are bringing you year-round coverage of the Dallas Cowboys, multiple videos throughout the week. We've got 2 planned Friday, 2 planned Sunday. I'm coming to my off to do rookie minicamp stuff for you guys. So make sure you are subscribed. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Sound off in the comment section right now. Jonathan McConnell, make my case for why Dak is better than Rodgers. Career-wise, can't do it. Rodgers is a top 5, NFL quarterback at his absolute best, top 3, whatever, top 2 MVP multiple times. This current version, we made a big deal about Dak Prescott with the turnovers. If you include the turnovers, depending on which, advanced number you want to use, and don't get overly caught up in the interceptions that we apply to Dak Prescott, but nobody else in the NFL apparently, like Stafford last year, Josh Allen, or Stafford 2 years ago, Josh Allen the year before. Dak outplayed Aaron Rodgers in pretty much all statistical categories. Imagine the meltdown we all would have had if you were in a win-and-in game in Week 18 against a team with nothing to play for in the Detroit Lions, and your quarterback laid an egg. Now, you didn't play well against the 49ers, don't get me wrong. Rodgers hasn't done that either. I think currently, you're probably looking at like QB 7-8 versus 9-10 in some order, so it's not by a lot. If Rodgers gets back to previous form, well, yeah, it's Rodgers, but at his age, is he going to? I'm not so sure. From Dancing Dak Prescott, which under-the-radar player, he's having a breakout year for the Cowboys. We've already mentioned Jalen Tolbert. I'm not going to put him on there. I think the ideal breakout, how about either dark horse name, real dark horse name, Matt Farniok at left guard. Wouldn't that be ideal? You have a young, cheap option at left guard who could maybe even be your center next year. That's a bit unlikely, I think, but that's a great under-the-radar name. Defensively, it'd be fun if like a Marquise Bell broke out, and maybe Israel Mukuamu finally arrives. The bigger name option I'd love to see break out, beyond Jabril Cox, Damone Clark, Osa Odigizua. If he can become a 6 to 7 sack player, that's dangerous. There's your 3 technique you haven't had in a very long time since David Irving back when he cared about football. Eli Aaron, what do you think the seeding will be for the Cowboys in the playoffs? If you win the division, you're I would say a 1 or 2 seed. Now, maybe the Niners end up getting that seed too, and maybe you're not 1. I'd say 1 or 2 or 5. Kind of like what it was almost last year. NFC East is the 1 or 2. Niners are the 1 or 2, and then probably even a similar scenario where if you're the wild card team, you might have the better record than the 4 seed. I think that's testament to how good I think the NFC East is this year. Now, what is your confidence level in the Dallas Cowboys? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 low end, 10 on the high end. Sound off in the comments section. Mike Spalding, what position are you most worried about at this point? Well, I think kicker has to be up there because you have nobody. Does anyone here think Tristan Vizcaíno is going to be your week 1 kicker? I don't think anyone believes that. After that, and again, this is a little bit of a champagne problem, left guard. If we're worried about left guard, probably means the roster overall is viewed as a top 10 team, which I think is what the Cowboys are. Now, the difference is you're in that, let's say, top 8 range. The difference between 8 and 4 is very thin, and 4 and 2 is almost luck. So a lot of those teams in that same area have some similar, not that many holes. Can you just get the success you need come playoff time? Brokoff, if we go 12-5 and lose in the divisional round again, should we drop Mike, hire Brian Hartline or Mike Kafka as the head coach? Brian Hartline, no. He's an elite wide receiver coach for Ohio State, but he's not a head coach. Kafka, though, I like it. I am going to say this exact phrase a lot because this will come up a lot, I'm sure. If you do fire Mike McCarthy, please have a real head coaching search. You've not had one of those since Wade Phillips. That was the last time you actually had a head coaching search because you hired Wade after a long interview process. You interviewed a bunch of different guys. Good job there. You gave the job to Jason Garrett. You interviewed 2 people when you hired Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy and Marvin freaking Lewis. That's not a real head coaching search. If in the end Dan Quinn is your answer, okay. You're an NFL team. You're the Dallas freaking Cowboys. You can't be interviewing 3 to 4 coaches and saying, we did our national search. No, you didn't. You picked the guy going in. You have to do a real search. And I think Mike Kafka absolutely should be in that consideration. I think he's done a great job in the end with Daniel Jones and the Giants offense so far. From Dancing Dak Prescott, great username, my friend. Do you see Kellen Moore getting revenge when we play the Chargers? That is going to be the Kellen Moore revenge game. Wouldn't surprise me if he busts out some fun plays. I think there was clearly some issues between Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore. A partnership that had produced legitimately top 5 results in the NFL over the course of 3 years doesn't just dissolve like that. That's not if things are going well. Clearly there were some issues there. But also, Mike wanted to beat Aaron Rodgers real bad. Didn't happen that way against Green Bay. We will have plenty of Cowboys coverage for you right here on the Cowboys Report. So make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Free videos every single day, multiple times per day. All right, mailbag is over. I do owe a beer cheers. Beer's not tasting great today, I'll be honest.
Oh, yeah?
just not going down smooth
See, I was
today.
feeling the complete opposite. This Miller Lite is tasting
It's not
splendid.
going down great. I don't know what it is. Predict the Cowboys record this year. Any more super chats can hit those two. We are 15-ish minutes away from knowing the confirmed schedule here. But we just don't know. Again, I think we're missing 2 primetime games. I think some of the leagues are going to be wrong about the primetime.
I think that Week 14 game against Philly has to.
You would think that, unless that was just like, because they changed the rules of like CBS, Fox, and owning the games.
How do you not have Cowboys-Eagles, though,
well,
as a primetime game at all?
Like, I would say, because CBS and Fox still run it more than like NBC and ESPN and Amazon.
Yeah.
I would say, like, if you were picking games to protect, wouldn't those two be among the first ones? Of like, we want like if you were doing the like fantasy draft style of like
games,
just like first overall pick. Cowboys Eagles, Cowboys Niners,
up there.
like I think, and then like Cowboys Jets and Giants. I think like
I would probably go Cowboys.
We know every year that the Cowboys games are among the most viewed games.
Yeah.
Like nobody does the audience that the Cowboys do because it's just people love to watch and hate them.
Yeah.
So that's I would wonder if those games got protected by CBS or Fox and
yeah.
So
or even this Bills game, Week 15. Like I wouldn't be shocked if that's
that'd be a great primetime game.
Great, that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
The
Cowboys going up to Orchard Park, like
the alleged. See, there's some conflicting info out there about whether Patriots Chiefs is the Monday Night Football game. So Cowboys Bills Monday night would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Would make a lot of sense. I think Buffalo would love that. So the schedule we have so far is what's been leaked up to this point. The games we don't know, beyond, I think, again, the 2 Monday Night Football games that we're waiting on here, Week 6, Week 8. Unless something's wrong on that front, which seems to track with all the rumors and leaks we've heard so far, it's Rams or Chargers.
Yeah.
In some order. The Rams game is the home game, and I would guess that because you're at San Francisco in Week 5, you're probably not going to have the Chargers on the road in Week 6. You'd probably come back home for Week 6, play the Rams, then go on your bye, then go to the Chargers and Eagles back-to-back. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Because you got to have back-to-back games somewhere there on the road, and you probably don't want to make it after a Sunday night game on the road. That's a lot to ask travel-wise.
Plus, you're going back to Dallas, back to California, like.
Yeah. Now you're still gonna have to do the whole out to LA, out to Philly, which is tough. So
That is tough.
There's an unideal spot somewhere, but at least you're not the Giants with 7 road games in their first 10.
Yeah.
Everyone complains about the schedule. It's not fair every year. The Giants having 7 road games together is that honestly shouldn't have happened.
Couldn't I argue
that's kind of messed up.
Wouldn't you want to get your traveling done earlier in the year? Like, I feel like, yeah, like you could view it as like a negative, like obviously negative outlook that, like, yeah, you do get 7 of the first 10, but that means they're going to get a lot of home games down the stretch.
Yeah, you do. You've got the Giants' schedule is brutal because you have the extra road game.
Oh, yeah, true.
And you have your bye late in the year in Week 13.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's really tough.
They would have probably liked the Week 5 bye.
So they're at home from November the 19th game up until for a month basically.
Yeah.
Which is great. But then you also have back-to-back road games still in December. So the Giants schedule, I think the schedule makers, there's always one team that just kind of gets screwed each year. I think that they kind of got screwed.
Those road games are in New Orleans and in Philly.
Yeah, those are not easy games. So again, this is the Cowboys schedule leaked so far. 10 minutes till the NFL makes the schedule, and the Cowboys will put out their tweet, which is it's fun.
Those are fun.
I think
it became like a little competition.
I think in general we put too much emphasis on the schedule release. Like just release the schedule.
A little bit. I think the NFL tries.
It's not a primetime game.
The NFL is trying to like out honcho the NBA playoffs a little bit right now.
They honestly, I bet the ESPN coverage, or I guess it's not ESPN because they got the game, but like I would love to see the audience of like schedule release
compared to the Sixers Celtics. I bet you it's right up there.
Yeah, and NFL runs it.
Yeah.
Super chat coming in, $5 from Jerome Nichols. Cheers to you. Iowa beer cheers. Bottoms up.
Cheers, Jerome.
5 for the beer, 10 for the way too strong margarita.
Yeah.
Sake, tequila, orange juice, etc. 20, shot time. We've done 2 of them today. Me and Patrick each did 1. Jerome, last year we took the 10-hour drive to Nashville from Dallas. This year it's a flight to Miami. What's the weather like in December in South Beach? You know why they say birds fly south for the winter?
Yeah.
Because the weather's real nice. It should be pretty darn good. It's not going to be like 90 or whatever, but it is going to be comfortable.
The averages here in Miami, Jerome, are 76 degrees. So you're going to get
lovely weather.
Beautiful weather.
Lovely weather. You're not going to get snow there. I'll tell you that much. So the flight to Miami for a Christmas Eve game. I think there's plenty of songs about Christmas in Miami. Like that, it's going to be. It'll be fantastic weather, about as good of weather as you can find.
Seriously.
That time of the year.
We've done it.
We've done what, Sam?
We've Sudoku'd the Cowboys schedule.
Okay.
Chargers week 6, Rams week 8.
Okay, based on
The Chargers schedules and those other teams. All those other teams that the Chargers could play have those weekends like booked off. The Cowboys are the only team that can mathematically play the Chargers in week 6, like based on what the Chargers have left.
Okay. Okay.
We just double checked.
Okay. Sam is claiming, behind the scenes, Chargers week 6, Rams week 8?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Throw it in.
Yeah,
throw it into the schedule maker, because we can always change it if needed. And at this point, we'll just wait for the actual cut. All right. Sam and Brett are convinced.
This is in a road game for the Chargers.
It is Cowboys at the Chargers.
And then at home
against the Rams.
The Rams.
Let's triple check here just to make sure here. But look, so if you look at the teams that the Chargers have left.
Which means I just would have flipped the Rams and Patriots as being wrong.
Booked 6 and 8. Raiders already booked 6 and 8.
Sam and Patrick go behind the scenes here, trying to
booked 6 and 8.
Cook it.
Bears booked 6, but 8 is open. They could play the Bears week 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys, obviously 6 and 8 open. Raiders, again, so 6 and 8.
They're booked.
Yeah. And then Titans is the last one. They also have 6 booked, but 8 open.
So it has to be.
There's only one team that the Chargers play week 6.
Okay.
That's America's team.
So it's got to be Cowboys Chargers week 6 then.
Look at Sam.
Okay. I'm fine with that then.
So that
So
the Rams game would have to be the Monday night off the bye.
Well, maybe if you're putting Sunday night, maybe you could still put them on Monday night then, and that kind of helps buffer your schedule time actually.
Because they're
go ahead and plug it in as is. At this point, we'll just wait because it's going to be 5 minutes before we actually get the schedule here.
There isn't a Sunday night game that week 8.
I don't think they're going to be Sunday night.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think that I wonder if that Lions-Vikings game, or maybe it's Monday night week 6, and that Bills game ends up being Monday Night Football.
Oh, please. Put
So
Monday night.
we'll plug it in. We won't do the full news cut breakdown of it since we have 5 minutes.
Yeah, just to make sure.
And that way we'll actually know what the primetime games are. Because I am fully convinced we're going to get 2 more Monday Night Football games. Fully convinced. By the way, it's also very funny to me because I've got like the NFL teams Twitter list up here.
Uh-huh.
The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tweets are all some variation of the team accounts going back to their previous tweets and saying the schedule drops in blank minutes on NFL Network. So the NFL's like, go tweet this out.
Yeah, please.
It's very funny from that perspective. So predict the Cowboys record this year, folks, in the comment section. Rhythmic Messenger, why do we always open against the Giants? They were due. Did I save the tweet? Let me see if I saved the tweet with like the actual numbers on it, or if I sent it to myself, because I saw a great tweet on it. No. I didn't save it. It was something like they played 10. It was like 7 of the last 14 years they've opened with the Giants in week 1 or something.
7 out of the last 14?
Something absurd. My math is probably off on that, but like they always open up that way. So as it sits right now, if we have correctly, it's not gerrymandered, it's sourced it, process of elimination.
Yeah.
Chargers week 6, Rams week 8. That part is unconfirmed. We will know the numbers here in a matter of the actual games in a matter of 5 minutes here. Once the schedule's announced. We only know of 3 primetime games for Dallas. Thursday night football against the Seattle Seahawks, week 13, after Thanksgiving. Week 1 at the Giants. And they actually opened against the Giants. They haven't done that very much. They've always been at home. Now they're on the road. Week 5 against the Niners. I bet one of these 2 games, week 6, week 8, is a Monday night football game. And then I think from the leaks that are out there, I think one of them is wrong. And I think one of your back half of the year games is also a Monday night football game. That's been my theory for a while now. We'll wait and see if that ends up being the case in 5 minutes. I was convinced I had the schedule right. Like, what time was that at? Like 2?
Yeah, 2.
I was convinced this is it. If it holds as is, I just flipped the Rams and Patriots. That'd have been the only thing. That's been the only thing I would have gotten wrong. Which would be, I wanted to film it, and I was properly told, let's not do that. And what was right? It would not have been worth the time there in the end. So, you got to move those down again. Silly. Brett Bott failed. This is the leaked schedule. We will have the actual details here, and as soon as 2 minutes, I'll do what I did last year and eventually look at the Cowboys schedule release video like 5 hours later, because I don't ever get to it immediately. So again, I'm convinced we're gonna have, because the Cowboys not having 5 primetime games would be shocking.
Has that ever happened? Like, when was the last time they only had 4?
2021. I read because they got taken off of it.
No. Don't worry. Oh, it's already filming.
No, we're not. I mean, we're live. We're not filming it. Oh, we got a minute. We got a minute till the schedule comes out, so we're just gonna wait and get the primetime games. We trust your math, Brad. We're just waiting to get the primetime games because I'm convinced it's wrong. I think the Cowboys are missing 2 Monday night football games from what's been leaked so far. Because there's no way they have 3 primetime games.
You don't think the Chargers part is wrong?
I think the Chargers-Rams part is right. I think one of the other primetime games that has been announced is wrong.
I think it's the
or leaked is wrong. They'll do enough of it that like ESPN's going to announce their Monday Night Football games shortly. So I don't think we'll be waiting that long. So waiting for the official schedule here. In the meantime, predict the Cowboys record here for us in the comment section. For the cut, obviously Kanzuri, first 5 minutes.
Off the top.
Mix in. We'll just go one time through and then mix in stuff throughout. Pretty easy. Titans have already released their schedule, by the way.
Ooh, do you think they had the tweet scheduled at?
Oh, they definitely did. I just watched the Seahawks. I've seen the Seahawks come out confirming Thursday night that game. Rams. Let me look to the Rams here because they've got theirs out, I think. It's a long video. See, I hate the video ones. Like, just get me the schedule.
I know, you got to scroll
All right,
through the whole thing.
I've got the schedule here. Stand by.
Here we go.
Oh, really, NFL? You're going to tweet out the schedules here and not have the games up? Fraudulent behavior.
Got you the click.
All right, Monday Night Football. We were right. Chargers, Cowboys, Monday Night Football Week 6.
Chargers, Cowboys?
Chargers, Cowboys, Monday Night Football in Week 6.
Okay.
And then Lions, Cowboys, Monday Night Football,
Wow.
Week 17. So we were right.
Wow.
Everyone was right in the office. The 2 Monday Night Football games and the... Oh, they had Yellowstone. Kevin Costner announced it. That's not Kevin Costner. They had Cowboys did a Yellowstone themed schedule announcement. So we'll have to look through that one. But yes,
Fits them.
Monday Night Football schedule is out. Cowboys, Chargers, Week 6. There are some double headers this year, by the way.
Multiple doubleheaders on Monday night?
So Week 2, as Patrick gets this built up here. Again, nothing. Apparently, there was some people got a YouTube ad. Sorry about that. We don't control it. Chargers is a Monday Night Football game in Week 6. Cowboys Lions is a Monday Night Football game in Week 17. And NFL more doubleheaders this year. There's also some flex scheduling now. Week 2, Saints Panthers and Browns Steelers is a doubleheader, and ABC exclusively on that one. Eagles Bucks Rams Bengals Week 3 is a doubleheader.
Wow.
Week 4, Falcons Jags, ESPN Plus exclusive game.
Falcons Jags?
Falcons Jags.
Really?
Interesting. Week 11, Titans Dolphins and Packers Giants is a doubleheader. And to be determined in the final week of the NFL season, a doubleheader on ESPN as well. So a very interesting set of games there.
Very.
For the Dallas Cowboys and ESPN in general. I'm going to run through the schedule here one time, just to make sure we didn't screw anything up. Giants, Sunday Night Football at the Giants. First, we'll show it here. We'll do it this way. Perfect call. At the Giants, Week 1, Sunday Night Football. Home against the Jets, Week 2. At the Cardinals, Week 3. Home against the Patriots, Week 4. All of these games outside of Sunday Night Football are in the afternoon slot. The Cowboys are going to play a grand total of 2 non-afternoon games. I'll mention those as they come up here. Niners, Sunday Night Football. Chargers, Monday Night Football. Week 7, bye. Week 8, home against the LA Rams. That's one of their noon games.
Okay.
Or noon Central Time, I should say. So that's one of the few ones there. At the Eagles, Week 9. Home against the Giants, Week 10. At the Panthers, their only other slotted noon game at this point. Home against the Commanders, Week 12. That is the Thanksgiving game. Week 13, home against the Seahawks Thursday night. And I love this for Dallas. In that very brutal 3 games in 12 stretch, they actually have 3 home games mixed in there against Week 12, Week 13, Week 14. So that Sunday, first one's a road game, then 3 home games. That's nice for Dallas there. Bills at Buffalo, Week 15. That's a 3:25 game. Also, Eagles, Week 14, Sunday Night Football.
What? So sick.
Sunday Night Football.
I was literally just about to say, there's no way they don't have either of those games on there.
So I guess they've expanded the rules and they can now have 6 primetime games. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess they did when they said that they could expand to
17 games?
17 games,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Week 14, Sunday
there's
night.
kind of there's a little bit of tricky stuff here. Week 14 is Sunday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Buffalo's a 3:25 start. At Miami's a 3:25 start. The Lions game, I'm not sure how I even want to describe this, is a Monday Night Football matchup. It's Saturday.
Okay.
So
Let me just put sat.
put Sat.
Okay.
Yeah. That is going to be on ESPN, but it is a Saturday game. I think it's because New Year's is on the Monday, so I think ESPN's taking a Saturday game so they can do the Rose Bowl again or whatever college football game they're going to broadcast that day. So the Monday Night Football game is actually being played on Saturday for the Detroit Lions. So that is significant from that capacity. I'm just gonna do one thing here. Make sure these changes on the other end come through. And then the Commanders is a TBD time slot. That one is still uncertain, up in the air, just because, there's still some.
Sunday Night Football, Week 14.
Yeah. So I think we are now fully caught up here. And I'm glad I went to the Cowboys website because there was some uncertainty from that perspective. Also, we have the preseason games, if anyone cares. We'll just go full screen for those here. Home against Jacksonville.
Okay.
At Seattle, home against the Raiders. So no Texans this year.
Oh, well, yeah.
No Texans, which I find interesting. We can go to that at the very end and just verbalize it there. That'll be a lot of fun. So this is the Cowboys schedule. What we will do here is run through everything in depth momentarily, and then we'll hang out as long as these super chats are coming in. The bosses say we get to stay live and have some fun, but we will need your super chats to make that happen. So we will break down the entire Cowboys schedule here in just a moment. All 17 games, including 6 primetime games now this year for the Dallas Cowboys, coming up momentarily right here on the Dallas Cowboys Report. Stay tuned for that in just a second. Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by Kinzuri. If you want the ultimate height hack when it comes to your shoes and to boost your confidence, then you got to get a pair of Kinzuris. 15% off on top of their up to 30% for a total of 45%, those of you not mathematically inclined, when you use promo code CHAT at kinzuri.com/chat. Tell you more about them later on in today's show, but the Cowboys schedule has been announced. They've changed the rules. You get 6 primetime games this year. Guess what? Dallas has 6 of them. So let's run through the Cowboys schedule. First, just one time, then we'll go more in depth on all of these games. At the Giants, again, Week 1, Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers comes to town again as part of the New York Jets in Week 2. At the Cardinals in Week 3. Home against the Patriots in Week 4. Back-to-back primetime games. Week 5 at the 49ers. That is a Sunday Night Football game. Week 6 at the Chargers, the Kellen Moore reunion game. I don't want to use the word revenge quite yet. On Monday Night Football. Early bye for Dallas. Week 7. And then in Week 8, another LA game. They host the LA Rams. Week 9 at the Philadelphia Eagles. That'll be a fantastic matchup. Week 10 against the Giants, so 2 straight divisional matchups. At the Panthers, Week 11 to begin. They're always brutal. 3 games in 12 to 13-day stretch. Week 12, home Commanders, Thanksgiving Day. Week 13, home against the Seattle Seahawks. That is a Thursday night matchup, a primetime game. After missing it last year, Dallas is back on the Thursday stretch in that, late November time frame. Week 14, home against the Eagles, and this is a Sunday Night Football game. The initial leaks did not mention this as a primetime game. Once the official schedule came out, turns out it is one. The Buffalo Bills at home, or on the road, I should say. The Bills are at home. Cowboys visiting them in Week 15. That's going to be a tough game at Miami, but in December as opposed to a hot one in September. Week 17, home against the Lions. This is a primetime game. December 30th, Saturday. It's going to be on ESPN, so it's not really a Monday Night Football game, but there's going to be college games, so ESPN put it on Saturday. And then wrapping up the year, Week 18, only 2 of those games, by the way, of the publicized ones, we'll see about Week 18, that's always TBD, are anything other than a afternoon slot. Going to be a lot of Cowboys on the game of the week for CBS and Fox. So will the Cowboys win the NFC East this year? It's what we all want. No more curses. It's the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, type in Y for yes or N for no. Let's go game by game a little bit slower here. They're doing it again. The NFL knew that they were due. It'd been too long since the Cowboys and Giants played week 1 to open up the season. Well, now they do. This time on the road for the Cowboys. That is a Sunday night football matchup. The Cowboys have simply put owned the New York Football Giants in recent years, hoping for good things there. It's back-to-back New York teams to begin the year as Boogeyman Aaron Rodgers comes to town against the Jets. The Cowboys hosting the Jets there. The Jets are going to be a much better football team than what they have been in recent years. It's Rodgers. I don't mind getting this one out of the way a little bit earlier. Now, today's show is presented by Kinzuri. If you sometimes lack some confidence, you feel insecure about your height, Kinzuri is changing the game for you. They can add up to 2.8 inches to your height discreetly. 2.8 inches by itself, it's not that great. 2.8 on top of what you have, ask your girl. That's a pretty big deal, right? Women get heels, makeup, push-up bras, and men deserve a confidence boost too. And Kinzuri shoes are not only height boosting, but also stylish and comfortable. They are not grandpa's Velcro shoes, but fashionable shoes that can receive compliments even without the height increase. The height insoles are built into the shoes. It makes it the ultimate height hack. For a limited time, Kinzuri is offering our viewers an exclusive discount of 15% off on top of up to 30% site-wide. If you're bad at math, that's 45% off when you use code CHAT, C-H-A-T, at kinzuri.com/chat. Don't wait any longer, folks. Upgrade your shoe game and your confidence now at conzuri.com/chat. That's kinzuri.com/chat. Links in the comment section and the description of today's show. Cowboys schedule resumes. Week 3, Arizona. They should smoke them. Like, the Cowboys should handle Arizona, no problems. I doubt Kyler Murray's playing. It's going to be Colt McCoy, Clayton Tune. That should be an easy win for Dallas. The Bill Belichick game against the New England Patriots in Week 4. Last time these two teams played, one of the better games we've seen in a while. That was an awesome finish. I bet New England finishes around 500. Better OC this year for them, but I think that's a game Dallas should win, especially at home. You get your boogeyman out of the way early. Aaron Rodgers, Week 2. That vaunted Niners defense in Week 5. They might have some quarterback uncertainty still. I would like to beat the Niners to boost some confidence. They will probably be favored in Week 5, and I understand it. Kellen Moore, revenge game, reunion game, whatever buzzword we want to use there. Week 6 at the Chargers for the Dallas Cowboys. That's a back-to-back primetime slate. At the Niners, Week 7 or Week 5 Sunday Night Football, come back to Dallas, then go back out to L.A. for Monday Night Football. If you're going to do that balance, you get the extra day of basically to travel and rest, and then your bye comes a little bit earlier than what maybe I'd prefer in Week 7, which means you're going to have 10 games in a row. You got a lot of them to play through there. It's not going to be the easiest thing, but you get your bye in Week 7. Week 8, the L.A. Rams. The Cowboys have 2 non-afternoon or primetime games this year. This is one of them, and it's the Rams. It's L.A. That tells me the schedule makers don't think this is going to be a good Rams team, so feel good about that one for Dallas. First time the Cowboys play the Eagles comes to begin November the 5th at Philadelphia. Now, you've coming off the Rams game, and you get the extra rest to a certain extent. It's in Philly, though. There'll be a lot of eyes glued to that one. Then it's home against the Giants. Back-to-back NFC East matchups. Also a 3:25 Central kick. This time in Arlington. If all goes according to plan, it had been about 4 years since the Giants won more than one game against the Cowboys. They won a few years ago in a game that didn't matter that much. Cowboys have owned them. Hope that continues. Here is the other 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central game for the Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. Very intriguing matchup as far as I'm concerned for where things currently sit. Is Bryce Young going to be good or not? I would have preferred Carolina early in the year to reduce some of the time for Bryce Young to adjust, but it's not the worst on play. I mean, it's a game you should win regardless. We will be live for each and every single Cowboys game this year, so make sure you are subscribed. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. We'll have our watch parties. Have a lot of fun. Make sure you tune in. Time for the gauntlet stretch. A lot of games. This time, some home games for Dallas. Week 12, November 23rd. 2 days before my birthday. Hope they don't ruin it this year. The Commies come back to town. I've got the offensive tweets they've done about Thanksgiving with their old team name cooked up and ready to go to make fun of the Commies. Dallas better win. I hate when my Thanksgiving's ruined. Go Cowboys, F the Commies. Week 13. It's back to the Thursday swing. I know a lot of Seattle fans are upset about this, and I go, Dallas does this every year. You're playing the 3 games in 12 days, 13 days, whatever it is, and with no bye around it. Welcome to Dallas's life there, Seattle. Seattle comes down. Normally this is a road game for Dallas. I am glad this is a home game for the Cowboys. A little bit easier because then they play Thursday night, and then Sunday night football. Not initially reported. You've got extra prep time for what will be a must-win football game. Now, the Eagles are still going to be good this year. Philadelphia, December 10th, Sunday night football in Dallas. Another prime time football game for your Dallas Cowboys. They got a lot of prime time this year. This one's going to be must-watch. The Bills, then on the road, Week 15. So a tough turnaround at home in Philly. At least it's not 2 road games in a row there. Into Buffalo in December. Whew, that's not going to be the best weather. So hopefully the ground game's going well because there might be some snow in that matchup. Of the Cowboys' opponents this year, which one worries you the most? You know, maybe it's the Niners, maybe it's the Eagles, or the Bills. We just talked about them, right? Which opponent scares you the most? Sound off in the comment section right now. I wanted to play Miami late in the year. I did not want to go down to Miami and play the Dolphins in September. When it's hot, there is a legitimate 20-degree difference in the sideline because one is shaded, one is not. Instead, you get Christmas Eve in Miami. The weather will probably be in the 70s. Awesome. I'm not sold on Tua or the Dolphins this year. Tua because of medical. I think that's a decent matchup there for the Dallas Cowboys. Week 17, allow me to explain things. Saturday, yes, to an extent. Normally on Sunday, the NFL has bumped this up to Saturday, December 30th. And the crazy part here, it'll be on ESPN. So this is part of the Monday Night Football package. But because there's bowl games, the Rose Bowl, CFP, etc., on New Year's Day, ESPN's game is getting bumped to Saturday. So it is a Monday Night Football game on Saturday against the Detroit Lions. I know that's complicated. Week 18 at the Commanders. No time yet on this one. It wraps up the season. There will be some games that might get bumped to Saturday potentially if everyone's out of the race because, you know, the NFL doesn't care. Or if there's only 2 games that matter for a division, they might do that. But January 7th is the Sunday for that game. We also know the preseason games. Those of you that care. Week 1, the Jags at home. Week 2, at Seattle. Week 3, home against the Raiders. I think me and my boy Mitchell Renz will have some fun stuff cooked up this year. So make sure you guys are subscribed for, we'll be live for the preseason games too because I love the preseason. It's fun. No one else cares what I care. Make sure you guys are subbed so you don't miss out. And remember to predict the Cowboys record this year. If you've not already done so, head down to the comment section, the pinned comment, and predict that record right now. All righty. We have been told that we are allowed, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Producer Patrick, to stay live as long as the supers come in.
As long as the soups come in, Tom. And I want to see you finish that contraption.
It's also starting to separate a little bit.
It is a little bit.
Yeah, you might. Let's see if you
I think they can. Yeah.
Oh,
they can.
yeah,
They-
now
they
you can see it. I kind of want to. I wish I had a spoon or something. Let me just start a little bit here. Hold on, let me do this. It is the Cowboys. They put the giant margarita swirls in there too, which I thought was appropriate to have in there. So $10 will drink out of the way too strong margarita, $5 beer cheers, and $10 Cowboy shots. Jack Daniels. We'll have some fun there. So as long as the supers come in, we get to stay live. Otherwise, we've got about 15 NFL or 17 channels now for the NFL. I can't do math very well.
I'm not sure.
Let me do it this way. We're going to count down from 32. No Bills, no Patriots. Oh, no Patriots. No Jets, that's 30. No Colts, no Jags, 28. No Chargers, 27. No Panthers, no Bucks, 25. No Packers, 24. No Cardinals, 23. Wow, no Rams. So we have 22 channels.
Wow.
So everyone wants to do their own schedule video, right?
Yeah.
Well, if the Supers come in, we get to keep them out. Otherwise, other people have to film stuff. So that's the deal we cut there. We do have one, by the way, that's come in from Jay Elam, who has the hardest schedule this season in the NFC East. If we have to figure out a metric, right? What's the hardest one? Well, strength of schedule is maybe the easy way to go about it, even though it's not perfect. The Eagles have the hardest schedule in the NFL this year. In fact, all 4 teams from the NFC East and the AFC East have the hardest schedules this year.
Which is normally just division. They don't play each other.
Because they cross over.
Yeah.
So NFC East, AFC East. Very tough schedule. Cheers to you, Jay. I appreciate that.
Shout out to you, Jay.
Cheers to you. Predict the Cowboys record, and we'll put 2 minutes on the clock. Otherwise, let me look at what's got it. We got Seahawks has to film.
Patriots, Ravens.
Mm-hmm. Lot of stuff in there. So, 2 minutes. We can stay live, or else it's time to go home.
Yeah.
Go home, film some other stuff. Let other people come in here. Like, the schedule has been officially announced. It seemed like it was a Yellowstone theme.
If
for
we
the
get
Cowboys.
a 50.
Okay, 50.
We'll do shot fun. Or if we just, we're 35 away from 150.
Mm-hmm.
If we get the 150 total in the next, 2 minutes, I'll go with shot fun for the Cowboys.
Okay. I'll do a beer bong too.
There we go.
How about that? We'll reset the clock. $2 from Nick. Thank you, Nick. There needs to be 2 bye weeks at this point.
I think
Restart
they're
the
getting
clock.
close.
Yes, there should be.
There should be.
There should be.
Yeah. Do you
Bump
think if they
everything
added
back
one,
a week.
Would they add a game? Make it 18 games? Or
I'm
is that too
fine
much?
with that if that's the
Yeah.
route you want to go. What I would do, honestly, and we were kind of having fun with this in the office the other day, like, add a game, 1 cross-division rival each year. Dallas
Yeah.
plays Houston every season.
Yeah.
Like, the Giants play the Jets every season.
Yeah.
Eagles
that.
play the Steelers every year.
Vikings,
Commanders play the Ravens every year.
Yeah. I like that.
Now, there will be some games that's like, who are we going to put the Bears against or something like that? Who are we going to put Chargers play the Rams each year, right?
But you can
there will be
start
some
the-
games that are awkward, but if you do it every year, that will become a rivalry
Yes. Yeah.
in and
I
of
like
itself. So, if you expand the season, add the cross-divisional rival each year.
That. Yeah.
That's the route I would go. So, got a minute left. Supers are the only way the boss has said that we could stay live. I would like nothing more than to sit here and start just getting hammered. You know what? I'll do this.
Go to Vortex.
$5.
$5?
$5.
All right.
And it's the way too strong margarita, and 15 for shots.
Yeah.
And 50, we'll do a beer bong and a shot fun.
do it.
Patrick will do a shot fun. I'll do a beer bong. But you only got a minute left there. Otherwise, the clock will reset. Richard says, did you see the Cowboys video? I have not watched it yet. I know it was Yellowstone themed this year, which sounds really fun because they do a pretty good job with that stuff. Fun fact, Patrick, as we wait here, see if I don't know if we're going to get there. 4 teams have 6 primetime games this year.
4 teams do?
4 teams.
Okay.
Can you name the 6 teams? Can anyone in the comments do it?
So the Cowboys is 1.
Yep, there you go.
I don't think it's the Jets.
Not the Jets. They have 5.
They have 5. I'll go Philly.
Philly has 5.
Philly's got 5. I think here. No way it's the Lions.
It is not the Lions. They have 4, though.
4.
It's a lot of games for
Good
them.
for the Lions. Buffalo.
Buffalo is one of them.
Buffalo's got 6.
Buffalo is one of them.
San Francisco.
San Francisco has 5.
5.
I owe a
Cowboys,
drink for
Buffalo.
Jay Elam.
Cowboys,
2 more on the
Buffalo.
clock, resetting. Should I give the answer to the commenters? Some commenters have it.
Oh,
Don't be-
Chiefs. Yeah.
Chiefs, yeah. Rashard
duh.
Lee, Jalen Royal got it right.
We
Cheers
got,
to you guys.
8 primetime games. It's got to be something from the AFC North. Bengals, maybe?
It is
No?
not an AFC North team.
Not AFC North?
It is an AFC team.
AFC team?
Rashard Lee says Vikings not it. It's an AFC team. It might not be one you would normally guess.
Dolphins?
Not the Dolphins. Dolphins have 3.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Chargers?
Chargers.
Chargers have 6?
Chargers have 6 primetime games this year.
Wow.
They play, let me pull it up here. Chargers play
That's
the... it hasn't leaked yet.
And then
Shit.
obviously they got, Cowboys Chargers on that Monday night.
Cowboys started winning football. So we got a minute left here. It's now $10 to get hammered on this way too strong margarita. It's got sake, tequila, and orange juice, and I don't know what else is in there, but there's more stuff too. So
Wow.
15 for shots, just 5 for the margarita sips. We were told we could stay live as long as the supers come in. Haven't had them come in yet, which is very sad. Very sad. Makes me sad, frankly. Do you want to do a second mailbag, maybe? Want
your
to
call.
do
I'm in,
a
yeah.
second one? Because I didn't put that out Monday morning. Who wants a second mailbag? Y for yes, N for no. Who wants one?
Let us know.
Y for yes, N for no. We'll have to do like an 8-minute cut. Keep it short. Y for yes, N for no. Brokov says yes.
Get one going.
Reaper says yes. We got 10 seconds here on the 2-minute timer, but I kind of don't want to stop. I kind of want to just hang out here for a little bit, you know?
Yeah, mailbag.
I don't want to do post-prod. Roberto Pohl says no. Wow, Roberto says no mailbag.
No mailbag, Roberto. Come on. We can just start taking questions from the live chat right now for a little bit.
I mean, I see a lot of yeses in there. Do you just want to do it?
Yeah, we can do it.
Have like one weigh in and
Yeah.
go to the sub. Let's do it. Let's do
fun.
one mailbag. Every super that comes in, I will during the mailbag only. Afterwards, I will drink this way too strong margarita.
Get those questions in there. We need a couple more. Get them in. We'll get it started.
Yeah, we'll put this piece out Monday morning and just go super heavy on the content for you guys. So
Let's go.
every super chat, the question, I'll drink for, and if we get too many, I'll just start doing shots.
I have a great first question for this mailbag.
Oh, that makes me scared. You think you have a great question. So
It's a great
get your
question.
questions in, #Cowboys or super chat for the mailbag. Welcome into the Cowboys Report. We did another mailbag because, you know what? Why not? More is more fun with you guys here on the channel. I appreciate all your support over the years. Make sure you guys are subscribed for more free Cowboys videos. Producer Patrick said he had a great question to begin. I think he did a good job here. Sign Robbie Gould. This is from Caden Pruitt. Thank you, Caden. Look, your available options are not great. I would wonder if Robbie Gould still has it. Inside of 40, he's still pretty good. Outside of 40, he wasn't that good last year. Now, he's been great in the playoffs, and that does matter after what we saw from Brett Maher. But I don't know how much more. And the Niners were they traded for a kicker and took one top runner. They were quick to dump on Robbie Gould. I wonder if Cowboys legend Nick Folk, after the Patriots traded up for Chad Ryland, I think Nick Folk gets cut. Nick Folk outplayed Robbie Gould last year. Last 3 years he has, frankly, as weird as that might be to say out loud. I wonder if Nick Folk could be your guy. From Michael Eubanks Hoover, do we have a schedule difficulty ranking this year? If so, where do the NFC East teams rank? I lost the exact number. Dallas was, I got it. Tied for third with 3 teams. It is the Eagles 1, Dolphins 2, Giants 3, Patriots and Cowboys also 3, Jets 6, Bills 7, Commanders 8. Do you notice the trend? All the AFC, NFC East teams, because they all play each other. That's why they're at the top of the strength of schedule. Chris, did the Cowboys make the NFC title game this year? I hope so. Yeah, Patrick got the joke. I hope that they do. I would be very upset if they did not. I want this team to make it there. I can't remember the last time they did. I was too young. I was alive. I think I was probably potty training around that time, but I don't remember it. So I hope the answer is yes. What do you guys think? Will the Cowboys make it to the NFC Championship game? Y for yes, N for no. This will be the pinned comments on today's show. So if the ad break comes here on the YouTube side, take advantage. Head down there, Y or N. Brokov, if Dak, you took this, of course, this question, you J.J. McCarthy stan you, just because you know him. If Dak gets hurt again and you end up with a top 5 pick, do you take Marvin Harrison Jr. or do you take J.J. McCarthy? If Dak gets hurt again, which would terrify me, that's actually my biggest concern with Dak, is the injuries. He's missed a lot of time past couple years. When he's been out, the offense has been great. And Rush has done his job of surviving. But if he gets hurt again, yeah, I'm kind of concerned from that perspective. If McCarthy plays great, yeah, if Drake may. Put it this way. You're the number 1 overall pick, you're taking Caleb Williams. I don't care. Like, you take him. Unless, like, Caleb is a disaster, which I would be shocked this year, you're taking Caleb. If you're outside of quarterback range, yeah, it's Marvin Harrison. It's, honestly, Olu Fashanu or Joe Alt, the offensive tackles. You put Tyler Smith at left guard. Now your O-line's cooking with gas. So if he goes down and misses the year, you should tank in general. Jenkins Gaming. Tom, who do you think the Cowboys sign, in your opinion, besides kicker? I wouldn't be shocked at a 4th quarterback. It might be a guy you've never heard of before to get you through camp in the preseason, because you're not going to have Dak throw that much. You know what you have in Cooper Rush. You're not going to play Will Greer an entire game, so you might want a 4th quarterback. I would like another offensive lineman, but I think kicker is kind of your big area there. From Lord Buddy Bear, happy to have you here. That's a big old drink here. Cheers. Are the Cowboys a top 5 defense? BR them at 8 or 9. BR had them at 8 or 9. That doesn't make sense to me. How are they not top 5? Let me see if I can I'll Bleacher Report top defenses. Like, to not be... Here it is. I found the article. Best defenses. Scroll all the way down to the bottom here because they went 32-1 like a smart company does. Cowboys were at 7, so close enough. After being 5th in points allowed, and per their own list, losses Anthony Brown, add Stephon Gilmore, Mozzie Smith. So objectively got better. They have the Bills ahead of them, which I think they're a top 5-ish defense. The Ravens are probably top 10. The Commanders at 4. I'm not taking the Commanders defense over the Cowboys. I refuse to do that. The Jets at 3, I don't mind. Philly and the Niners, I think, are right there with Dallas. I would put Dallas top 3. And that's not a slight to anyone else. Like, I think, yes, they're a top 5 defense. Because their turnovers dipped last year, and they were still a top 5 defense in points allowed. Like, I think that makes the most sense. So thank you, Lord Buddy Bear. We will have more free Cowboys coverage year-round for you right here. Multiple videos per day. Hit that sub button. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV for more free Cowboys videos. James Castillo, I think CeeDee Lamb will play a lot more this year now that Brandon Cooks is there. Do you mean like specifically slot or outside? Because, of course, he's played a lot. Lamb mostly plays slot for Dallas. Cooks mostly plays on the outside. So I think the roles stay pretty similar. And if you maybe mean like, does Lamb get more single coverage? Probably not. Probably not. But I like Brandon Cooks one-on-one. Hell of a lot more than I like Noah Brown one-on-one. From Jimmy, will the Cowboys try, I think, to add more quarterbacks? I wouldn't be surprised. Kind of mentioned that earlier, right? You know, I would like them to make a decision on Dak Prescott. Like this year. Like at this point, we know what Dak Prescott is, right? He's not a top 5 quarterback. I don't think many people make that argument. I've seen that straw man more and more now of like, well, people think he's as good as Joe Burrow. But do we? I don't. I don't think most of us watching think that either. But the standards aren't always the same. But we know that he needs help, like all quarterbacks do. He's in that top 10 range, right? If it doesn't work, like if you don't think it's going to work now, it's never going to work. So make your decision. Extend him, backload that contract, keep the cap hit low, build around him, or rebuild. That's your long-term answer. Short-term answer, I kind of want someone to get me through the preseason because I don't want to play Dak, and frankly, I don't need to play Cooper Rush either. I don't want Will Grier to play the entire game. So sign a random young quarterback. Hell, you know what? Bring back DiNucci for the preseason. From Brokov, if Gallup is bad again, would you try a Khalil Shakur trade? If Gallup's bad again, you might be drafting somebody early again next year. Because you know what that also tells me? Tells me Tolbert probably wasn't that great either, which I am worried about. I will not happily, but I will own the mistakes that I make in the pre-draft process. I thought Tolbert was going to be really good. And I know I was not alone in that one. Like, the Cowboys almost took him in round 2. They were thrilled he was there in the 3rd round, and then he couldn't line up on sides properly. It was insane. So if Gallup's bad, I am worried because you paid him a lot of money. You moved on from Mark Cooper saying, Gallup's our guy, and then he just lacked confidence, lost burst, wasn't good outside of slants. Like, he couldn't come back routes. He didn't even go for the football sometimes. It was a disaster. So I am going to speak positivity to Gallup. Give me 2019 Gallup back. 2019 Gallup, his team's dropping 28 points a game. They're going to win the NFC East again. That's what I want. If you don't get that version of Gallup, decision time in the offseason, which we'll have coverage on. In season, preseason, regular season, we have you guys covered. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. All right. We gave you the bonus mailbag. We'll do a minute 30 on the clock. Any supers come in, we will stay live. Otherwise, time to go. We got basketball games to watch, baby.
We got basketball.
Yeah, we got some fun games there.
Overall, Tom, what's your record prediction? You've been asking them this whole time.
You know what? That's what I haven't. I guess I should save it for tomorrow's show when we do record predictions.
Yeah.
I'll tease. Let me look here.
Fine, I'll go game by game. Win, loss, win.
Okay, 3-1. I agree so far.
Loss, win.
Win the bye.
Win the bye. I think you beat the Rams.
Okay.
So that's what? 6-2?
5.
5-2. Lose in Philly.
Okay.
I think you sweep the Giants.
Suck it, Marshall. Marshy in the comments.
Take care of business in Carolina.
Yep.
Probably beat the Commanders, hopefully on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I'm going to go shocking loss to the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football.
Patrick in the comments.
Sunday Night Football versus the Eagles. I think you get it done at home this time.
Nice. Good answer.
Lose in Buffalo. And then I think you went out.
Oh, okay. That's like 11 wins or 12 wins right there. I lost count.
I think it was 12-5. 12-5.
I'm in. I do. People are worried about that week 14, week 17 stretch. I think you should go 2-2, or honestly 3-1. I think you should go 3-1.
I think they will.
I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic in the end. We have a $1 super chat, a first-time super chat.
Let's go, Cameron.
From Cameron Godfrey. Thank you very much, my friend. That was right at the minute-and-a-half buzzer, so we'll reset it.
Shout out to Cameron.
Oh, wait, he just retracted it. Oh.
Sad.
Oh.
Sad.
Oh. Well, then we will retract our praise. I'm kidding, Cameron. It's fine. Hit that Cowboys record here. I see 12-5. The Reaper, did you say a loss versus the Jets? He did.
What's your floor and ceiling?
I think in general, bye, Madman. Love you. I see you. But did Madman even use... Madman didn't comment that much, though. I see you, Madman. But I don't... All I saw was Shakir isn't good.
We love you so much, man.
Oh, there's some top 3 comments. I guess. Okay. I do love you. I love all of you. Madman says, no, you don't. You don't see me.
He's funny.
That's funny.
Floor and ceiling.
I think in general we overestimate the ceiling.
Overestimate the ceiling.
And I think overestimate the floor too.
Yeah.
Because
Obviously injuries are
you
a
get
huge
some
factor.
injuries,
Yeah.
You know what? like, what if you have a Niners quarterback issue and you lose your top 2 guys? I don't think Will Greer's beating the Lions.
Yeah.
He ain't beating
mean,
the
definitely
Bills. So, like, if I think the way to answer is if everyone's healthy.
Yeah.
If they're healthy, they should win 10 games.
Yeah.
You know, they should win no fewer than 9.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't
And
know
if that's the case, they can win 14, 15 games.
I know the schedule, like, strength of schedule is tough. I don't think it's too challenging.
We've been a little bit spoiled in recent years. A little bit spoiled with the schedule itself.
Yeah.
It's a little tougher. Cameron Godfrey has a question now. There we go.
Deep.
Thank you, Cameron. I'll drink to that one. Bottoms up.
The redemption. Shout out to you, Cameron.
Who's better, DeAndre Hopkins or Cooks? As pure players, Hopkins. Now, you have to factor in as well the contract.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks took a pay cut.
Yeah.
That kind of because of the timing, it kind of went under the radar. He took a pay cut. Let me pull up the numbers here for you guys. And not so much for this year, but like this came out like 3 days later. I think in an attempt to stick around next year for Dallas,
Yeah.
he's like, I'll take less money because he was due like a good chunk of change. He is due $6 million on the cap this year. It's nothing. That's nothing. $10 million next year.
Not bad.
Now, 4 of that is void years, so it's really 2 years, $10 million a year. But that's nothing.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
He was due like 2 years, 15 a year.
Just took a little
Like
less.
he took less to come to Dallas. And based on his comments, I think it was Dallas had interest in me.
Yeah.
I've seen good quarterbacks. I've seen solid quarterbacks. I've seen bad quarterbacks. Let me get with Dak.
Let me go play with Dak.
Let me go play with Dak and not
He's got-
Davis freaking Mills.
He probably thinks he's got 2 years left in his prime. He's probably not in his prime anymore, but 2 years of quality football.
He's only 30.
Oh, really?
You would think he's older.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought he'd be 33.
He was very young when he came out. I also just remembered I have Brandon Cooks on my dynasty team. I got Cooks and Lamb.
Oh.
Let's go. I just realized that. Like literally just a second.
That's funny.
Because we were doing voting for rule changes.
Not a fan.
Dude, let me pull up the rules that were voted on. First off, this league began, as I'm just going to rant here. Super Chats come in, I'll drink for them. Otherwise, this is going to be it. This league began.
Okay.
We've also had like 3 orphan teams over the years. Just pretty rough, frankly. League began as standard scoring 1 quarterback.
Okay.
Last year they go, after the 4 years of the league, they go, let's go to 2 QB. And I'm like, hold up here.
It's a big step.
We all drafted as 1 quarterback.
Yeah.
That's a big change.
Yeah.
So I have Mahomes. So I have not been drafting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? I need them for 1 week. Why would I bother?
Seriously.
So I'm like, let's go a year buffer. So I got the year buffer at least. This year, the pitch was we added just an extra flex as opposed to making a flex super flex. That's fair. This year it was, do we need a trade review period? No. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Unanimous voting. They wanted to change the scoring system from standard to full PPR.
That's a big change.
And I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
That's a big change.
Like this is a draft changing. So we went to half PPR, which I'm fine with.
I think
that's
it should
fine.
be half PPR.
Half PPR is fine. That one won almost unanimously
especially in the
too.
dynasty league, those are big decisions to make because
Those I'm just like hold up here. No.
Yeah.
Like we are drastically changing the rules.
Seriously.
There have been. Oh, what's up, Harrison?
Bulls up to 210.
Really?
Attaboy. There you
Let's
go.
go.
Nice.
Let's ride.
We'll do it here.
We're literally about to sign off, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have implemented some anti-tanking measures over the years.
Really?
I've tanked. I don't care.
You got a lottery going on in your
No lottery.
No lottery?
What we did was we changed it from just worst record to lowest potential points. So who actually has the worst team?
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty fair. Someone wanted to change it from lowest potential points to whoever finishes first in the consolation bracket gets the #1 overall pick.
Ooh, I love that.
I hate that.
You don't like that?
No.
Add some juice.
Because you're rewarding the fifth best team, the sixth best team each year, as opposed to the team that actually needs the worst pick.
True.
So that one got overvoted. And then people wanted a dead period for trades before the draft, and I'm like, you literally can't make roster moves before.
Yeah.
Because the league's deactivated? No. So
Yeah.
that one got outvoted. And then he's not watching, so I can say it. He was very upset with the rule changes, and he was like, I'm never going to bring up voting again. This is dumb. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You got outvoted. Like that's
Don't be
literally
upset
what that's
about
what
it.
democracy is. And then he's like, by the way, can Mish crunch the numbers for who's the most championships? That'd be pretty cool because I think I'm first. He wasn't first.
Were you
So oh no, no, I've come in second about 4 times in this league. It's very, very upsetting.
That is
so.
very upsetting.
And this is the same league that I just got offered, as no one cares about fantasy. Want to do it anyway. I have 1.07, 1.08, 2 firsts this year. I was offered 2.08, a 4th, and Michael Carter or Daniel Bellinger. No. So that will do it for us here on the Cowboys Report. Appreciate everyone who tuned in for our schedule release special. Big thank you all oh so much. More Cowboys, including a record prediction tomorrow. Hit that sub button right now.